What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Sports Bible Podcast. It's been a couple of weeks, and busy with March Madness and the Stash Man. I actually have some interesting relations to him. Welcome to Sports Bible, presented by Coke. I'm kidding, but actually, the big news I spoke about on Twitter just literally 10 minutes ago is we have our first sponsor. Thank you, Anchor, for being our first sponsor. You'll probably hear the advertisement before this podcast starts. So thank you so much, and that's all for the listeners for getting us to this goal, and it's first of many, But how you doing, Rob? It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah. Right before, mid-March, probably right before Selection Sunday, which is the day I went to Garnett's ceremony, which I figured
Also, that was the day I was getting Gus, my dog.
Yeah.
He's currently sprinting around the yard.
Yeah. Cute as hell, man.
Yeah, he's good. Pissed. Shit around the house, Actually, only once I think he did, and it was in my room. So, but he's
How's
getting
work?
better. Work?
Yeah.
It's good. I'm done for now. Like CBS, I'm done because March Madness is over. Technically, they're in they go to New Orleans for the Final Four, so the studio's dark for now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, and if you're watching this, they'll see your really cool hat. I know you were hesitant to say the name last time we were on, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not leaking info or
Yeah.
and I would never do that anyway. It's not worth it. My friend is saying yo, can you take a picture? Or no, I'm not getting fired.
You're busy with it. That's why we took our break.
Yeah, I worked.
Again.
I worked.
Wrote a lot.
I would work 10 a.m. to midnight. I'd work the entire slate of games, but it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's it wasn't a dreadful time at all.
Little did people know too. You were in relations with one of the biggest stars on the stage.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, you probably know who Doug Edert is by now, even if you don't like basketball. St. Peter's guard, mustache, Dougie buckets. They were probably the most historic Cinderella run ever.
Yep.
Because they went the furthest.
Mm-hmm.
And he's my cousin. he's my dad's cousin's son. So that's he's my cousin. It's not like I have my cousin who I've never met before in my life. No, I played Little League with this kid. I played travel ball with this kid. I know his whole family. What?
Show it off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna act like oh yeah, I see him every day. No, I don't see him all the time, but
yeah,
it's not like that long lost cousin that you take credit for knowing. Like my second cousin's husband's brother is Mike Trout. No, it's one of those relations. It's not true, but yeah, he's basically my cousin, and it's cool. I spoke to a bunch of his family members about it beforehand and talking about, oh yeah, it's a great experience. Did not think they were going to be Kentucky.
Yeah, and I remember around then, probably before it, when you told me that, I was telling I've told you I have plenty of friends, bigger college fans than me, but they thought that was sick when I told them that. I was Rich told me that Doug Eddert's his cousin. They're really?
Yeah, my bracket actually is looking pretty good. I don't know if you didn't do one, I don't think, right?
I did not.
Yeah.
I never do.
Nah, you're good. But my bracket, I had Iowa, so that kind of slapped. Yeah. I had Purdue in my Final Four, but I was hoping they lost because of St. Peter's. And then I have Duke and Nova. So I have half my Final Four left, and Duke's my winner. So I have a real shot to win it, my bracket, and I'm my group. So yeah. I'm excited for that. I hope I win it. I want Coach K to win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably rooting for them too. They're usually obviously the team I always root for because of
Yeah.
Tatum and
And
others. But
Nova lost a big player. I forget his name. He tore his Achilles though. It's like you can tell when a guy tears his Achilles, just like the way he grabs it. Like even like the way they describe it, it's like, oh, Achilles. And
Justin Moore, or was it someone
yeah,
else?
Justin Moore, you said? I think
Yeah,
that's his name. Don't quote me on that though.
yeah, I think I saw it was him.
So I guess we can get into it. Speaking of injuries for a playoff team, uh, I'll go first because you're gonna go on for a little bit. But
Yeah.
damn, like that sucks. He's out. It said what was it, 4 to 6 weeks?
So, man,
You can't even talk about it.
at the moment, I guess that's how you could look at it. But like, yeah, that's my first. That's why I just said that. It's my first impression. You can go about this a million different ways, especially from a
Yeah.
fan's perspective. But like, it's still up in the air. So Woj's, to answer your question, Woj's report yesterday on NBA Today was that he's he's definitely getting surgery. Ime said it before last night's game. So they're looking at options. They're going to look at his knee. It's either they're going to be like, all right, you're injury prone as it is, so we'll shut you down for the rest of the year because obviously his future is huge and his growth, as I've said to you a billion times. But like,
Yeah, especially the short off season for basketball.
yeah, or you get it. You're out, and I saw Ime said he's optimistic he can come back. He probably wants to come back. That's probably what they're leaning on. He'll probably get it, and then like if they go beyond the first round, late in the playoffs, like he'll probably. I could see it being 4 to 6. But
Yeah, I'm checking now, like when their last regular season game is. April 10th. There you go. So that's
now, yeah,
ooh boy.
they got Memphis. I think it might be on TV. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about that, but I'm thinking like if there was like 2 weeks left, even you can manufacture your way through the first round because you guys are. It's like you're the fourth seed, but like you're tied for first.
Yeah, and they got the Heat tomorrow. It's a big one.
Hey, those Knicks, 4 in a row when it means absolutely nothing. No, I mean I'm not a fan of tanking. I'm happy they're playing well, and I think they actually found something that we'll get to after the Celtics. But my thing on the Celtics, if he's out 4 to 6 weeks, and like if he can play on, obviously it's pain tolerance. This is kind of like a real shot to win it all, because outside of Phoenix, who I want to touch on a little bit later, but not really that much. Just kind of give them credit. But this is like a real shot to win it. Like everyone says we're going to go for it all, but you can kind of figure out the years that you have a shot and you don't. And it's very obvious that Boston this year is probably the scariest team in the East. And I think that you have to take advantage of that. And if it means sacrifice a little bit of next year to win it all this year or go for it, then if you can play, obviously, then I feel like you have to go for it.
Yeah, and like, all right, so first of all, I didn't expect us to start it with the injury, so I'll say this. Since it's been a few weeks, again, we both were really busy, especially you. So to our listeners, again, pretty soon.
We apologize.
Yeah, we'll be doing this more than once a week, and we know it's been
definitely
a while. So you guys won't have to hear my Celtic rants and movies and stories. So, but all right. So since it's been before, early
I think
mid-March.
2 weeks. 2 weeks ago.
Before I went to Boston. So, okay. All right. So where do I start? So you heard me last time we did this pod. I even posted about it. Like, it's just whenever I talk about it, it's like at this point, it's getting me emotional. Like,
what, the Garnett or Robert Williams?
No, just like the team in general and like what's happening. Dude, we've said it a million times. It's amazing because not only, we've talked about how they were finding ways to lose to the worst of teams, whoever it was, no matter how bad, to every team in the world.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when they started to turn it around, everyone's like, oh, is it against good teams? And then like they answered that, and then they beat like 13 consecutive playoff teams, whatever it was. They just kept beating contenders and playoff teams. But all right, so it was just that's the amazing thing is that like this team broke me. Like in Christmas, January, like each game I'm getting more and more amazed. They literally broke me. You heard me. 18-21.
They've lost like 6 games in 3 months.
That's literally what it is. I think, they're like, I think you're right on point. I think it's like 5 in their last like.
That's
30,
crazy.
Or something like that, 31.
Yeah, but I'm not sure the exact number, but it's ridiculous. Like the stretch they're on right now.
Yeah, and they've barely like you just said, like it feels like it's been like 6 in 3 months. They've barely been dropping games. That's the amazing thing. And like, so I like to angle it from the game where Barrett hit the buzzer beater because that's when they were 18-21, January 7th.
20-point scorer, RJ Barrett.
So, and obviously that was when the noise was surrounding the Celtics. Should they break it up? What should they do? Panic mode. And then since then, 29-8, Tatum, 28 points per game, 7 boards, 4.7 assists. And it's just amazing. So, all right, so we're going to go back to Garnett weekend. So I don't know if I have here live or in class whenever we've talked, but I've seen some bad losses, like going back to Kyrie, going back to whenever, at home, on the road. So magical, weekend, freezing, spring, daylight savings weekend. Spring was just upon us. I haven't been there since before the pandemic, since like 2019.
Yeah, you were saying that.
I think 18. So Kyrie was on the team last. So I saw them win in Boston last I was there.
So Kyrie, that might have been 19.
Winter of 2018, I
Okay.
saw them lose to the Bucks, beat Charlotte, and then they lost the 2 games in Florida that I always talk about.
Miami and
where Kyrie blew up and stuff
Orlando?
like that. Yeah. So so I'm all excited. I'm like a little kid going to Disneyland. It's like me and my friend going with my dad. Me and my friend were the only 2 going to the game, but it's like the only thing on my mind as well as every time I'm there. So it's just magical. Obviously they're retiring his number after the game. The place is set up with number 5 everywhere, shirts, game programs. The intro was about him, like I posted. Magical. Like I'm seeing Pierce. It's like a holiday. Pierce, Kendrick Perkins, Eddie House, Glenn Davis messing around, shooting baskets and running off the court pregame. When they saw Pierce walk in, they were like, the whole place erupted. Every time Garnett was up and walking towards the seat, the whole place was going nuts, erupting. And it was kind of like a story, like it was a mix-up of every game I've been to before. Like they've blown leads, like I've told you, I've seen some bad ones.
Yeah.
So they were up like 12 at half. Jaylen gets the poster on Cleaver, daps up Garnett. The game goes on. What was it? It was 9 at half, actually. I think we were up 12, but then Dinwiddie wasn't hitting a shot, our favorite guy, all game. And then he hit
he's really picked it up.
Yeah, and
we spoke about that last time, I think.
We'll get to him. Yeah, so besides the Celtics rant and like everything you're about to hear me say, like we'll talk about our power rankings and our MVP candidates, and we'll get into Dinwiddie.
You want to give 3 or 5?
It's up to you. I wrote down 5.
I feel like 5 gives us a little bit more room to be wrong.
Yeah, and you also, not to change the subject of what I'm saying, you know me, always want to give like an explanation, everything. Like I won't even do that. I'll just say like why and like where
Well,
they
yeah.
are.
Well, we can give our list and say why DeRozan doesn't deserve to be there anymore.
Yeah.
And the
So,
wild Memphis Grizzlies. Jesus.
yeah. So Dinwiddie hits the shot at the half court buzzer beater at halftime. Thought that was funny. But then he was barely hitting all game. Like he was missing free throws. And then come the end, Luka hits one to tie it. And or give them the lead. I forget what it was, but it was in the last minute. And once we were tied, like it's like this is what I say to people. It's like I had that voice in my head that was like I could feel the heartbreaking fashion coming when it was
Yeah.
tied. We were losing, and it was like it was creeping in. It's like don't get it twisted, bro. Like you know how the story goes, and you know what happens when you come to see the Celtics live.
Yeah.
And like on a a celebratory game like this and a big one. But so then Dinwiddie had the ball. Luka did a good job coming out the double team. Just kicked it out to Dinwiddie straight away, 3 deep one. It was like a 40-footer. I had a feeling it was going. It went. I was sitting behind the basket on that side. Big celebration from him. And Marcus got hit on the hand, but they didn't call it a foul. They changed the call because they called Marcus let go of a 3. They called the foul. This is when they're down 3. So I'm thinking like they're definitely going to overturn it because he got hit. But they did it because he touched his hand after the release. So Marcus didn't get the free throws.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened a lot in so far in March Madness.
Yeah, so
they keep missing that call.
I'm thinking like, all right, make these, and then like all you hear is just like the building's so loud all day, so joyful, and then you just hear the ref say like, oh, like the challenge. That's what I meant to say. The challenge is successful from Dallas because the contact came after it. So then Luka was saying post game he knew they were going to overturn it because they knew they were going to get the call because that's happened to Luka. But like, so yeah, I still think about it a little bit. I'm like, I can't, like, it just would have been the cherry on top if they closed it out and won. But that was the first game they lost in March. They were 5-0. They lost their second last night, and that was without obviously Rob. Al Horford, Jason, and Jaylen. Yeah. Wow. So getting a little rest. Al's basically going to have a week off going into this Miami game because he hasn't. All right. So since that game, they went 4-0 on a West Coast swing. Right.
Before Toronto. Before Toronto, you're talking about?
I think it was four games. Golden State, Sacramento,
Denver, OKC.
Yeah, so I was thinking maybe 5-4.
That was right after the Dallas lost.
Yeah, so I'm leading us to this point right now. So they lose to Dallas, they go out west, they go 4-0.
Yeah.
Come home, beat Utah 5-0. They get off until Sunday. They got all this rest. So Horford is going to have a week off before tomorrow's game. So that's key.
Does Tatum ever play in the fourth quarter? 28, 22, 20, 29, 32. Jesus.
Tell you what, man, we've been annihilated. That's the amazing thing, and that's why they're a title contender, is they've been annihilating teams.
Yeah.
Like 6 straight of 20-plus point leads.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, yeah, Horford will have a week off, but then so they swept the West Coast trip, and then they destroyed Utah, which I thought Denver and Utah would be tough, and even Golden State.
Utah is scaring me a little bit.
Yeah, I thought they'd be good games, just knowing like that they were contending teams as well. But so after they swept the trip, they beat Utah, like I just said. Then they go into this Minnesota game, and Minnesota's 21-9, also on fire. So I was like, they haven't won there in many years. I want to say like 10 plus. I forget how much it was exactly. I even saw the starting lineups of both teams when they last did, but saw like, all right, good test for us on this back-to-back. Another blowout, and before it was not even any contact or anything in that Rob Williams injury. It's just like
That's usually when you gotta worry.
yeah, he kind of just nudged his knee, and then Ime was saying he didn't see what happened. He knew he was in pain, and he'll get an MRI in the morning. And
Yeah.
I'm on top of the world, like talking to my friends about it. I'm like, all right,
It's gonna be a little sprain.
Yeah, well, not even the injury. Well, the injury was on my mind. I was like, all right, yeah, sprain day to day. I wasn't even thinking about the MRI in the morning. I just knew they were going to be without him for Toronto. So I'm talking about it to my friends, like just saying what I just said to you, how I can't believe like the greatest season turnaround ever, how they broke me. And then they went from breaking me to no expectations to how they've had the best season they've had. And it's probably since Kyrie was on the team, and since in years. And
Probably since I don't know, was Kyrie on that Eastern Conference Finals team when Tatum dunked on Braun?
that was when he was out. That was his first year. So that probably since
Okay.
that year, yeah, because we were like the
Okay.
2 seed, I think.
Yeah. No, you guys were the 7 seed, I thought.
No, the 2. Last year they were the
There was a
7.
year though you were like, yeah, it was Tatum talking about that. You guys were like the 7, but no one wanted to play you guys. It was on the 3, on the old man and the 3. I forget what year it was.
Is this Tatum's episode? Because I think I remember
Yes.
them talking about it.
Yeah.
I think he said like Philly wanted to be 3 because he knew. I think I remember this part. Philly wanted to be 3rd because they knew they would play Boston 2nd, and Boston
Yeah,
was
they didn't
hurt.
want to play Boston.
No one knew.
Yeah.
Obviously, they weren't a favorite every series because of the injuries. But
Yeah.
yes, so Kyrie, yeah, probably since that year. So, and obviously after these, even though it's only been 2 in a while, those 2 in a while, it's just like every time they lose now, like I'm back to how I used to be, upset and angry. And
because it's not like there's this saying in sports like scheduled loss, like you're not going to win every game. Now though, if you lose those games, it's a little bit more of a feeling because of the fact that you lost such an important piece.
yeah, and it's just not even that too. I'm not even referring to the injury. It's just like since this run, like I've just been back on that wave. Just like those are my feelings when they lose games, and losses have been hard to come by. Like I said, especially the blowouts they've been having, and so I see that yesterday. I just look on my phone and see how like it said several weeks, and I was just like, dude.
Yeah.
And obviously, all these opinions now, it's just like, are they a title contender without him? That's such a big loss. And that's the amazing thing, dude, is like
I think you guys are still. I think he's great, and you can't replace him. You still have Tatum and Brown, though.
yeah, that's what most people are saying, but it's like I agree with like Perk and them when
Against like Philly though or Miami when you have to deal with those big men, or even like Vucevic is kind of soft. I'm trying to think of a team like a big man. Let's see, Siakam. I guess Jared Allen's hurt. There's no big men on Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm just going down the list now. So, yeah, he's your anchor. That's probably the best word to describe him.
Yeah, besides Marcus Smart, he really is.
Yeah.
And listen, this is besides like this turnaround and how amazing that's been to me. It's just like this is one of the best defensive teams I've seen in years. And like it's just the way they switch, the way they do things, not just Rob, but the whole 5.
Yeah.
But Rob is the anchor of that. I've said that to you a bunch. He is, and Marcus Smart. And a stat I saw, like this is from Kevin O'Connor from The Ringer. He's my guy. He isn't with us on this opinion. He wrote Smart and Rob. Well, this is true, but
Okay.
the story of his blog is like Celtics sleeper odds put to sleep after like this. But it's like Smart and Rob first in the league as a defensive duo, the pick and roll, and on offense, they're the third most efficient duo. And everybody can see it. Like it's like the first play all the time. It's the alley-oop.
Yeah.
Just Rob, but it's always the amazing passes from Smart, them as a duo. You always used to see it with, I think I've said this on the pod before, you always used to see it with Horford when first on the team.
He's so slow.
But it's like, so, yeah, so it's like, they're luck. All right. So that's the sad thing and why this is so frustrating, right? So 2017, it's not just the injury bug they've had for so long since Gordon Hayward and beyond that probably, but it's like
Kyrie.
Before it's that, especially that season, before the postseason every year's Isaiah Thomas in the playoffs, in the conference finals, not that they would have beat LeBron, but 2017, Kyrie before the playoffs. Forget about Hayward that year.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart, oblique injury. Gordon Hayward, 2020 in the bubble. Jaylen Brown last year.
Yeah, last year I don't think it really would have made a difference, but it's still an injury.
It wouldn't have. We played the Nets, and it wasn't our year. But
the now fully cleared Nets.
Yeah. I figured we'd get into that too, but
I mean, we know where we stand on it. We knew like as soon as it got cleared, it'd be a big deal. But
yeah, and it's like, so what was I going to say? So with Rob, it's just so he's the one for this year, and it's like, so he anchors that defense, and we know how Boston's been. I think they're the fourth best offense at the moment, top 2 defense. Best in the league, obviously, but it's like with the way Rob has been for that, that's his biggest thing. Like he can defend all 5, and he can switch up the guards, cover the perimeter. But the thing is like, what did I tell you when they traded for Tice at the deadline? I was like, that was good because his familiarity with them, and if one of them goes down, Al or Rob, or if one of them's in foul trouble, you can't play Canner. Sorry, Freedom. You can't play him.
He's on the team.
So
again,
it's
right?
like, no, I had a feeling he wouldn't get a job after that, but it's just
after
what?
Oh, I think after he changed his last name, I'm like, I don't think that really matters.
I wanted to correct that real quick, but so and Tice plays sort of like Rob. He's not as athletic and explosive, and he doesn't jump out the gym the way he does, but you could use him in the pick and roll. He catches lobs at times. There's a few he missed last night, but he catches lobs. And why he's kind of familiar with Rob, or similar to Rob, I should say, is like he could also defend all 5 and guard the perimeter, guards, get blocks here and there.
Yeah.
Do those sort of things, but not that effective level. But where the Celtics are going to miss him is like, not only because he's the anchor, and like, what was I telling you before this turnaround and before, they were 29-8 since that Barrett game? I was like, who's the brightest spot of this team this season? It's Robert Williams.
Yeah.
And that's
No, I was going to say that always, not always, that doesn't necessarily mean the best player. Like, because you expect that out of Tatum and Brown, and Jalen Rose deserves an apology. He said, keep these guys together.
Yeah. I think you saw me retweet, like, I liked it. Like, I think Greenberg tweeted it. He was like, everyone knew he was right. I did.
Yeah. Like,
I remember
I said it too, right? I just don't have a cool hairline as him. My haircut's not as good as Jalen Rose's.
Yeah, he's got the greatest hairline, but it's like, everybody knew. It's like you don't break up. And what are they doing now?
Talent's talent.
They're showing too, like, haven't we shown you guys in the past we're one of the best duos in the league? That's what they're doing now.
Yeah.
And it's like Jaylen Brown's – I'll get into Tatum's stats in a sec, but to wrap up – Tatum and Brown, but to wrap up Rob – it's like you'll miss the Marcus Smart play at him, the gritty, the get on the floor, get steals, dive for loose balls. But Tice is a little gritty, and like you're lucky to have him and Al Horford. And
you could be a lot worse at that position.
Yeah, and like now the Celtics actually have size when it was a question in the past, especially with how amazing the defense is. You're lucky to have Al and have acquired Daniel, and you have Grant the way he is this year. And it's like, I do think they're still a title contender because, like
Yeah.
you said, they have Tatum, Brown, Marcus has been an anchor or the motor of this run, and you're lucky to have Horford. But it's like Tatum. I quoted it yesterday with a Dwight Schrute gif of him crying. Tatum said in the beginning of the month, Rob's ceiling and potential is the biggest key to where we want to be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because he's your center.
yeah, for our growth. And like me and you have talked about it, and that's the truth. And like, yeah, to win a title, we do need him, but we could still, if he can come back, we could still make a run. But like, we're showing we're still a championship team with us blowing out everybody. I mean, we lost last night to Toronto with those guys down, but we
Yeah, like I said, those scheduled losses, like they happen.
and we got our rep. And tomorrow's a big one. It's just like they played a little tighter. They could have won last night. It would have calmed the fans down after what happened yesterday. I was hoping for it, and in a tough environment like that. But it's like they were due for a loss. It's
Yeah.
I just said we haven't been losing a lot. We've been amazing, and like it's just they've been really hard to come by. And
Yeah.
I thought that, with Pritchard and with some guys stepping up, Neesmith, Grant Williams yesterday, even with guys out, they could have pulled it out. But it's like scheduled loss, like you said, and like been hard to come by. They'll keep rolling. They'll keep doing their thing. It's just one game.
Right.
Between the East, this seeding in these last 5 games,
they're gonna be at least top 4.
Yeah, and just as long as they have home court in the first round, and they've shown that like they don't care what seed they are, just as long as they're playing the right way, continue to, and playing the way they should be. Like they're focused. Since that KG night, like they've seemed to be focused.
You know how we talk about like you don't want to position yourself to play a team because it's going to come back to bite you.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it now. If I'm Boston, don't know if I want to be a top 2 seed because then you might have to play the Nets. And I mean, like the Nets, like if Toronto's 6 right now, Cleveland's 7. If Toronto drops to 7, Kyrie can't play. But then they can drop to 8. It's the playing games are not confusing, but it's not like a clear tournament. It's like a 7 plays 8, loser plays the winner of 9, 10, and then those 2 make it. But I'm looking at it now. If Boston can win a round, they can beat Chicago because Chicago is allergic to beating good teams. They could beat Toronto, Cleveland, the Nets, Hornets, Hawks. Like they can beat all these teams in one round. You get past the first round, say midway through the second round, you get Robert Williams back because that'll be around a month. Maybe comes back a little quicker because it's the playoffs.
or later. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, like I mean, it depends how he responds, but I think you kind of just have to get past the first round to kind of have a shot of him coming back.
Yeah, of course. And I saw people were tweeting at him like, he's tough. We'll shake this off. And it was just like, yeah, facts, my dog. But yeah, it's just, it's people are showing.
You'd rather not deal with this, right? You'd rather not have this problem.
Yeah, and it's like, they don't get Kyrie, the Nets, if they go to Toronto, but it'll be tough because
Toronto's tied with Chicago. Remember like our first podcast, we were like, who's better, the Nets or the Bulls? Now they're the 5 and 8 seed.
It's funny. And like, that's how much Chicago's really just been
just very mediocre.
Yeah.
Very mediocre.
Especially against the good teams. And I remember how much we praised Chicago too. It's just one of Philly, Milwaukee, Boston, and the Heat are going to have to face Brooklyn and a tough task, obviously, first round.
Well, we don't
But
know
if
that actually. What if like Brooklyn? I mean, he's come back and they still haven't really like. I mean, they've won 7 of 10, but they haven't really like they don't feel like they're red hot, you know. And like you drop a game or two in a row and you're out, you know. So
yeah,
I don't think that's gonna happen. But God, I hope Trae Young torches them.
yeah, and
Do it to both New York teams.
the Celtics really, like I said, they don't really seem to fear anyone right now, even
No,
without Rob. And they've been without you know, a a brother before. Like I said, these past 6, 7 years, when it like matters most. But it's like the way he mans things. I just hope it's not another season that's like, oh, well, if he was in,
yeah,
you could
another
have been.
if.
But it's like they could still make a run, and obviously we don't want to come up empty of anything. But like with the way we've been, it's just been some season, and like these last 5 games lining up in the postseason, it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully, we don't end up with Brooklyn, but like we got to keep
Yeah,
that confidence with the way we've been
yeah,
playing. It's just 11-2 in March. Tatum almost, I was going to say almost 34, but 33.7, 6.8 boards, 4.8 assists, 53.9 from the field, 46 from three. The Celtics are ranked second in the power rankings on NBA.com behind the Suns. Like I said, he's 28, 7-4 since that January 7th date. And Jaylen Brown finally coming back to life, dominant wise, to where he was at some point. He's been a great 2 to Tatum, but now he's starting to get back to, his dominant scoring ways. His last 10, 23.4, 5, and 2 assists, 50% from the field, 34 from three. But would you like to get into some power rankings and MVPs?
yeah, and we can kind of generate some topics, not a
By the
topics,
way,
but conversation. What?
Red Sox.
Yeah, next week I think we're gonna have like a special episode, like right before baseball starts, just to kind of give our predictions. I'm also probably going to make a YouTube video with that too. Maybe I'll just put the that on no, I'll make a YouTube video for that for just like a more in-depth idea of my own predictions. But yeah, that story is a great move. Took him from the Yankees. Love it.
One of the
Uh,
best. I wrote about it. You probably saw my thank
yeah,
you for posting the story actually. Like, yeah, they
yeah. Well,
probably
baseball's my sport, so
one of the best infields, one of the best power lineups in the AL.
and you got him for 6 years. Like that wasn't like a cheap 1 year deal. Like you got him. Now you got to keep Bogarts because I know he's gonna opt out after this year.
And
But
it seems like they're both optimistic about it.
yeah, I mean he kind of asked for him to come there. Like
Mhm.
Bogarts was the one that kind of
Yeah,
nudged
got a
him.
phone call going. They just wanted to win.
But so for our power rankings, top five, I'll put like a picture up. I'll make like an edit of it. Um, for me, not basketball, for teams, I'd probably go one Phoenix. I don't think they're dominating and no one even says a word. And I feel like yeah, they deserve a lot more credit and they deserve to be like heavy favorites to win it. But, so
Mhm.
they're one. I'm gonna go Memphis two just because they lost their best player and got significantly better. Like not like 1-3 in a row. They're like 18-2 without him. Like something crazy like that.
Yeah,
Then
now
after that, what?
it is 18 now.
Yeah. After that, right now I'd probably go Milwaukee three. Miami's really scuffling a little bit, and so is Philly's kind of treading water. Then I'd go Boston four. I think that they're still playing ridiculous basketball, and you can't discount that. And then I'd probably go. I'd go Miami five. I don't like having Dallas in a top five, but they're probably six. I can't put Golden State in there. I mean, they look awful.
Yeah, they've really
Um,
been struggling. And I did both conferences as well, and they're like I
yeah,
kept them out of the top five because of how bad they've been.
yeah. Well, conference wise, I'd probably go 5 Toronto, 4 Boston, 3 Philly, 2 Miami, 1 Milwaukee. Wait, 4 Miami, 3 Philly, 2 Boston, 1 Milwaukee. I just think Milwaukee's experience helps them.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then for the West, I'd go. Whew, I
spending
don't
champ.
like Utah. I'd probably go Denver. I'd go Golden State, probably 5, then Denver, then Dallas, then Memphis, then Phoenix. I don't like Golden State right now, and I've been very high on them. I don't like them,
Yeah,
but
I don't either.
yeah.
It's just like
What was your 5?
the time is diminishing on that. It's tough. I was saying this to my friend the other night. It's tough to doubt their chemistry and like say like, oh, they're running out of time because of what they've accomplished in the past and their championship pedigree. But like, you haven't played together in 2 years, 2+ years, and like Draymond and Steph, they're not playing well with Draymond and like
Yeah,
Steph. You got to get them back into form and get them fully gelled and
yeah, but
stuff.
they're running out of time for that. There's only like 5, 6 games left.
That's what I'm
Nick's still
saying.
alive, by the way.
It's tough in the postseason,
Yeah,
especially. But
you don't want to be getting right in Game 3.
yeah, so I'll read the rankings for both conferences. First, I'll start the power rankings. For 5, yeah, 5. So Celtics, of course. That's the biggest thing through this is like, yeah, like
Wait, 5 in the East?
this is all right. My power rankings, they are number 1.
Wait, hold on.
I'm starting with both conferences.
You're going 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say there are not 4 teams better than the Celtics in the East, and you're a Celtics fan.
Yeah. All right. So number 1 team in the NBA today.
Okay.
Honorable. It's the biggest thing is like, yeah, that's a big loss, like I just said. But it's like they and their experience and their defense as it is, even without Rob, and the way they move the ball and Horford and Tice and just the fact that they've been playing together for like X amount of
Yeah.
years now. Like Boston's core with Horford and with Tice, like it's been like they've been together a while now. So it's like that just goes to tell you, we
Even
just
Tatum and Brown have been together for like 5, 6 years now. He feels like.
5, and it's
While
like
Harden and Embiid are still making,
still worried about Frosties, but so all right, yeah. So it's just 6 straight wins with a 20+ point lead. They're just destroying people right now. Scheduled loss, like you said, big one tomorrow night. Then let's wrap
you
this
guys
thing
should be
up.
all right. You guys should be all
Yeah,
right.
tough. Besides that Grizzly game, there's a tough back-to-back when baseball starts. It's like the 6th and 7th in Chicago and Milwaukee. So that'll be a nice test. But Celtics, Suns, Bucks, Mavs, Grizzlies. The Suns have been unreal. Booker, I believe people when they say
That's
like
your overall?
yeah. I believe people when they say Book does deserve to be up there in the MVP rankings. Bucks have been unreal. Dallas, the Dinwiddie acquisition has turned things around.
You have Dallas in front of Memphis?
4.
Wow. I'm a big Dallas fan, but that's ballsy.
I'm not saying
Memphis,
Dinwiddie's cured everything, but like, look what he
he's
did the
helped.
game after the KG game, the buzzer beater in Brooklyn. Like he'll take pressure off Luka. He could be a ball handler and make the right pass too, and just
Wow.
obviously knock down big shots.
I kind of get it, though, I don't know if this is the way you're thinking, but Dallas, they haven't won a series yet with Luka in the playoffs, but they've kind of they're battle tested. Memphis is kind of like John Morant hasn't really been there, and I don't really know anyone besides Steven Adams on that team that has. And I don't count last year's playing game. That's not a real like it's a playoff atmosphere, but it's not a series.
And like I believe Nick for once. I believe Nick Wright when he says like this could be the Mavs year with Luka. He's doing like
See what he
LeBron.
called Jason Tatum?
Yeah.
A super duper star. Oh,
Well, first of
Jesus.
all, the week before he said there's 17 or 16 players better than him. Now he's saying he's a super duper star, but we
16.
don't.
Yeah, didn't he say
I
Anthony
think
Davis was better than him?
I think he did say that.
By the way, quick side note. We never really made the official bet, but there will be a baseball game played before Anthony Davis comes back.
Yeah, like I
Or
thought
already
we,
happened, but yeah.
I figured we get into the late. Well, the Nets a little bit. We don't really need to get it, like you said. We don't need to, but I
Yeah,
figured we get
we kind of knew what we were gonna say.
the Lakers. We'll get it to next week. I mean, like this is a big game for them tonight.
I feel like the Lakers, the next time we'll talk about them, might be the end of their season because they might not make it. They're a half game up on San Antonio, and their schedule is brutal.
I mean, maybe if we do another pod at the end of the week, they'll
We
still be a lot.
should we do like a? I don't want to be that guy, but should we do like a celebratory pod if they get like eliminated? No, I'm not doing that. I don't hate the Lakers. It's just very disappointing. It's just it's just we said this before, like the difference between them and the Knicks. By the way, I think I might be out on Randall, but yeah, just what I saw last night, I did not like, and then nothing to do with his play. Yeah, the Lakers have LeBron James, and he's playing like if they were competent, he'd be the MVP. Like if they were the 4 seed, he would be like runaway MVP the way he's playing. But he's out tonight. And did you see his ankle? Like that picture?
Yeah, that was bad.
I'm like, if people were calling him like a wuss, I'm like, I wouldn't be playing either.
He was real about it. He's just like, yeah.
He's never been one to give an excuse. Well, the cramps in the game. Okay.
I've been watching the show Winning Time on HBO with John C.
Is that
Reilly.
the Magic Johnson show?
Well, he's like,
or is that not him?
no, he's in it, but not the real.
Thinking of like a Laker. Jerry West? No.
The Lakers, yeah. It's the Lakers.
Jerry West? It is Jerry West? Okay.
And Jerry Buss, like they're all in it. But
Okay.
like people act as them. Like John C. Reilly does, Jerry Buss does a good job, but it's a good show.
Yeah, and
Show.
yeah, but I think there he goes. I don't know if you heard him bark. I want to bark.
It's got like LA vibes. Like it's
Yeah.
just like a lot of the way John C. Reilly plays Jerry Buss, like running the team, and just like it shows how competitive they were. It's like before the dynasty. It's when they just get Magic, when they got Kareem. But like, yeah. Where were we?
No, I was gonna say another team fighting for their lives technically is the Knicks, but I'm not overreacting over a 4-game winning streak. I kind of know where they're at as a team. But my point on Randall, I have 2 points for the Knicks I want to make on Randall. I don't know like why he did it or if it was just plain selfishness, but he didn't play well yesterday at all. He had I think he had like 6 points or 4 points. He didn't play well at all. But Barrett had 28, Burks had 27. Like they really picked it up and they beat a really good team. Well, a good team that if the ball bounces away a couple times, like if what's his name, Cam Johnson doesn't bank a 3 in, or if Kevin Durant doesn't have 53, like maybe we have a shot here. But hindsight 2020, I did not like. They win a big game at home, fighting for their lives technically, but regardless, he just clock runs out, tosses the ball, runs straight to the locker room. Didn't even try to celebrate with his team. I don't like that. And I don't know what happened or why it happened, but I don't like that because you got these young guys that are playing well and like not to spite you, but like you're not the focal point anymore. Like it was great last year and no one's discounting that, but Barrett has taken that leap and I think he's going to take another one next year, knock on wood. And guys like quickly Toppin, Jericho Sims is even playing well a little bit. All these guys are playing well and you can't act like it's all about you. And I feel like he's done that a little bit too much, and I'm starting to notice it more. Like a defensive breakdown, he's blaming everyone but himself. Like, just move on. Like, blame yourself, move on. Even if it's not your fault, you're the star.
Who
Sorry.
would have thought like this is where we'd be with him a year later?
Yeah, well, I mean, like as a player, I don't think he's as bad as everyone says he is. I don't think he's trash, but I don't like people that nitpick him. Like every time he has like a defensive breakdown, it's like, oh my god, like no, relax. I care more about things like I said, just not celebrating your team or blaming everyone but you. Like those type of things is what bothers me. But I think that besides that, my second point was quickly. I think we found something.
Yeah.
The Knicks have been playing a lot better recently. They lost a couple tough games like Utah, Brooklyn, Atlanta. Fuck Trae Young. But
Put on a show that game.
yeah, he played well. I don't hate him. I just when he plays the Knicks, he just want to rip his hair out. But Alec Burks had 27 points yesterday. Do you know he played the majority of his minutes in the second half?
I feel like I saw his recents have been well too.
Yeah, because you know who's been running point? Not him. Emmanuel quickly has taken that role by the horn, like the bull horns. Bull horns? I don't know. I'm not a animal guy. I eat food. I eat chicken. I don't really raise chicken.
I think that is.
I think yeah. Take the bull by the horns. That's the term. We respect animals, but I'm gonna eat chicken fingers. Anyway, the quickly has really developed well, and I was a little iffy on him for a little bit. I was like, you can kind of find him anywhere, but if he's your point guard, you finally have a point guard that like can be like not Alec Burks. And nothing against Alec Burks, but he's a two guard. He's a scorer. He's not like a passer, and I think also RJ's development as a playmaker has helped. His like volume stats are high. Like his percentages are a little low, like a tad, but nothing really worrisome. I think he's shooting 36% from three. I think 41% from the field. But he's averaging 20 a game now. He's still playing solid defense. He draws the best player every night, so it's always tough. And I think that they found something here quickly, like running the point. And I think they found that when they have a real point guard running point guard, you can win games.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, it's like we've been saying that for 2 months now. But yeah, I'm just looking for them to I'm looking for them to end strong. I think that I don't believe in tanking, especially when it's like the 7th or the 15th pick. Like it's not very rarely is Donovan Mitchell falling 13. And to segue off this, we're going to talk about a team like the Celtics, the inability to lose, the Phoenix Suns and Memphis Grizzlies. I think in regards to Phoenix, I just want to kind of
I was going to ask you who are your West power rankings. I was going to ask.
Oh, okay. I think I said it before. I had Golden State 5, Denver 4, no, Utah 4, Dallas 3, Memphis 2. Suns 1. I think they don't get a lot of credit, and like this year it's wide open, but the Suns are like 7 or 8 games in front of everyone, and I think it's kind of like if the Suns were the Lakers, like if the Lakers had the Suns record, we'd be saying the Lakers are clear-cut favorites, like no one's gonna touch them. But because it's the Phoenix Suns, it feels weird to some people, but they've been dominating, and they're gonna like, oh my god, I don't know who they're gonna play in the first round. It's probably like Minnesota or like the Clippers or the Spurs.
Clippers are the 8th seed right now. George is back tonight. That's the second game on TNT.
Who's the other team?
Wolves are right there.
Oh, New Orleans. I forgot New Orleans is yeah. New Orleans is in there too. So yeah, they're gonna crush whoever they play in the first round. And for Memphis, I don't really know. Like, I don't blame John Morant. I don't like that like I don't think that hurts his MVP case. I don't think it helps it, but I don't think it hurts it. What are they? 16-2, 17-2 now without him?
18.
18-2. Oh Jesus. Some teams don't even have 18 wins, I don't think. Um that's just a credit to the coach, and credit to the like Desmond Bain and Melton's playing really well. Jaron
See that
Jackson's really good.
the
Yeah,
Melton
like
dunk was
all these
nice.
guys, and I think it might do something for them because I think now you kind of insert this superstar rather than him having to take over and be that star again. He can kind of just be his own guy. He doesn't have to worry about carrying the entire team. Granted, the playoffs, he's going to have to obviously do a lot. But I think when it comes down to it, if they play like this, obviously the scoring numbers from Melton, Bain, Jackson will go down a little bit, but they're going to be unstoppable. If they're blowing out teams without Morant, imagine what they do with. And then if they're definitely gonna get bounced in the first round now, and then we're gonna hear John Morant is not a team player, and that's why they lost. But I
No,
digress.
I think they
Yeah,
have a real chance at a run.
I don't know if
Dallas,
they could win it just because they haven't been there yet, and experience matters a little bit, just like because the playoffs are long in the NBA. But
I
I think they're head over heels Golden State right now. I don't, and it's Steph's hurt. I saw someone say this is exposing Steve Kerr. Name me a good coach with bad players. Like what? Like he doesn't have Steph Curry. Klay Thompson is not what Klay Thompson is.
Brad's
Draymond's been hit
second.
or miss right now. What?
Brad Stevens a couple years ago, leading us to the conference finals with IT and Olenek.
Well, he's genius, that guy. But regardless,
Yep.
he's
That's what
rolling out like he's got nice players going out. Like Jordan Poole's good. He can occasionally drop 40 out of nowhere or
he's on
30.
a tear if you look at his recents.
Now James Wiseman's out for the year. I saw, but
Yeah.
like last night, Gary Payton, Kayvon Looney, Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, Jordan Poole. By the way, Andrew Wiggins,
Trash.
wow. How do you like? But this starting lineup is not winning a lot of games. Andrew Wiggins shot 5 for 15. He's down to 17 points a game. He's shooting 64% from the line, 46 from the field's okay. Oh, that's actually good. 39 from three is good. I don't know what to do with Golden State, but
Talked about our worries about them, and it's like it's just like Steve Kerr's got a thing going. It's like Clay's been better, but it's like you got your guy Poole or your guy Clay.
what did I say in the last pod? I think that they should bring him off the bench.
Yeah, and it was a valid point, but then it's
I think he
like,
dropped like 35 that night too. I was like, great.
and then Poole's been dominant, yeah, and it's just it's tough because like it's just he hasn't played in 2 years, but he's been better. It's just
Yeah.
Wiggins has really been really a shell since the All-Star break, but it's like it's all dependent on Steph getting back for them.
Yeah.
But experience and chemistry is the biggest thing. But like you said, it's a process. Like for Memphis, so like a team with Dallas, they could be ready because they've faced some first round frustrations that they could have went further. But like, yeah, it all takes time.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say, you want to move to the top 5 MVPs, like the
yeah,
power rankings?
so I was just gonna say real quick, my West power rankings: Suns, Grizzlies, Mavs. I got the Wolves because they are 21-10 at 4 at the moment. Because just Golden State's bad, and
Over Utah and Denver?
as in Denver's
Yeah, yeah.
fifth.
Okay.
They're fifth just because they're better.
So you have
They,
Dallas. You have Dallas in front of Memphis in your top 5, but then below them in your West.
wait,
Just say that. No, I said it right.
all
No,
right. That's the thing, though, is that like I like Dallas better, but it's tough for me
Yeah.
That's my mindset on this one, is that like I like Dallas better. In my opinion, they are a better team in general, but lately Grizzlies are obviously on fire. So that's
Yeah.
probably what I was thinking for the West. Like,
Yeah, it makes sense.
I just give them credit. But
Yeah.
and then the East I did as well. Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Nets. The Nets are creeping. Miami, they are
Who's your
fifth,
oh you're fifth? All right.
just because they've struggled. Like you saw the loss they had to the Knicks too, and they weren't even
Yeah.
like Randall didn't even play, and yeah, so
And they were down 17.
yeah, they blew that at home, and
Pretty
they've
quickly
really,
too, like that quickly, pun intended.
like, you saw that fight with Butler and them too, right?
Yeah. Speaking of fights, Jimmy
Some
Butler try
an eye on, even though that's how he is.
yeah, but he I don't make much of that. That happens, but
Yeah.
he almost Will Smith them.
Why didn't we talk about that?
Yeah. Comment below if you want us to do like a lifestyle podcast. We've been talking about it like a second day a week. Just talking about Will Smith slapping people. No, I'm kidding. Just talking
Pop.
about like music, food,
Yeah.
life. Just like it's more. It's kind of this is casual, but like nothing. We probably won't talk about sports as much, but yeah. If you want to hear us talk about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, uh, what Chris Rock said was out of line. I I just I respect Will Smith for what he did. Like you protect your loved ones. I mean, I guess she did cheat on him, but you know, um, no,
It's
obviously
just,
she cheated on him. I think so.
it's so funny. The memes, like,
I
just
just oh
him
yeah,
saying,
it's like
calling him dude after it. Like, it's hilarious.
yeah, like I respect Will Smith for doing that, but dude, she's kind of the whole entanglement thing, the cheating scandal, like just. And also, I respect Chris Rock not for the thing he made. He didn't even rub it. That's why I think it was set up. Like he got hit hard, and he was like, "I'm good." I was like, "Bro,
Yeah, he ate it straight up. I was questioning if it was real at first too.
I don't know. I don't know if it is. I don't know, but anyway, top 5 MVPs. I would go probably one Jokic still.
Wait. Yeah, so the Heat have struggled.
Yes.
That's why they're at fifth in my list, and they only beat up on the Kings. We'll see them tomorrow to get off, the East, the Celtics, the standings, them, like you said, still got Tatum, Brown, and Smart. We'll be there here on out. Every night's going to be fun for them. Still got Derek White. Still made those trades. He's coming alive. Let's get it going. But, all right, so ESPN's, so MVPs, ESPN's, they have Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Morant, Tatum at 5, Luka, Booker. NBA.com has Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, Tatum, Luka, Morant, Booker at 7. And then I have mine. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
I guess I like NBA.com.
I respect the Booker one. I say it all the time. I think Chris Paul on his team hurts his value a little bit, and also he missed some time, right? Devin Booker. Yeah. So I mean, he
only not a lot, but just some COVID time, a little bit. That's it.
Yeah, we've talked about recency bias as well. So I think if you take that into account, I think Jokic is still the MVP. Then I'd probably go Giannis, Embiid, Luka, and then Booker and Tatum tied for 5th. Probably
I like that.
Probably Tatum 5, Booker 6. I'd have Morant. I won't have Morant in it just because you can't win it if you miss so many games. So I'm not gonna include him. And also, you guys like Kevin Durant, but if you miss a lot of time, I have a hard time putting you in my top 5 just because The MVP usually plays at least 70 games, like 75 games.
Him and Steph are still in the top, and Chris Paul, I think, is still in the top
Steph
10.
should not be there. One, he didn't play well down the stretch, and two, he's hurt. Nothing like you can't get hurt.
Yeah.
You get hurt, but same reason why KD shouldn't be there, just because he got hurt. Notice I didn't have DeRozan in there. They've kind of not fizzled out, but kind of,
They don't beat the good
plateaued.
team.
They literally don't. I don't think they've beaten one like all year. But yeah, so that would be my five. I would go Jokic, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid. Yeah, right. Yeah, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, Luka, and then probably Tatum, and then Booker 6.
It's funny, like I saw someone when the Bulls were on a roll in like December, November, whatever. They tweeted like a picture of DeMar like during a game. They're like, they can't beat the good teams. Like they can't do this. They can't do that. And like someone quoted, they're like, they literally just spoke their season into existence.
I saw that, yeah.
But yeah, so mine, I like Jokic 1 still, Embiid 2, Giannis 3, Tatum the cleanup spot, Doncic 5. Like I don't blame Nick Wright for thinking he could win it. Booker 6, got to give him credit, and then 7, I will go Morant.
Okay, if I was gonna do a 7th guy, I can't put Durant there. He's the 8th seed.
Yeah, and he missed like 2 months.
Donovan Mitchell, no. I don't want to put Morant in just because he has no shot at winning it. That's kind of the way I'm kind of look at it.
Who?
Who?
You could argue DeMar, I guess. DeMar.
Yeah, you could say him. No one from Toronto is going to win it. Garland's not going to win it. Steph's hurt. I guess Donovan Mitchell. I'd probably not hard and switch teams. Probably Jimmy Butler. That would probably be my 7th guy. I just think I don't know. Probably Morant, to be honest. I didn't really think about a 7th guy just because by then it's like but yeah, those are my, I guess, 6 strong MVP candidates. Like I think they all have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know really besides that. But we're running a little low on time here, so you want to kick us out of here, Rob?
Yeah, sure. Is there any we'll be back maybe later this week or the beginning of next, but is there plugs you want to leave?
Yeah. Like I said though, if you guys want us to do a different podcast, like a lifestyle podcast once a week, it's more of a casual conversation. You'll see our other side of our lives, like music, food, movies, TV shows, all that good stuff, If you want that, please comment or like this video. Yeah. Also, Rob's got a bunch of articles going up. I'll post them on the bio. Like always, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, not Snapchat. Think Twitter. There you go. And yes, we've made a TikTok, so please follow that at Sports Bible Pod. We'll be posting shorts on there as well as probably clips, edits, all that like TikTok stuff. And follow us on socials, Rob Green NBA, Richie Jordan's 1. It'll pop up on the bottom of here. Besides that, though, I think that's all. You have anything else, Rob?
Nothing. Just still writing aloud. Since we last talked, I did a Dinwiddie one. I did a Celtic one. I did a Peyton Pritchard one. I did a Red Sox one. And I'm still grinding.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's it.
Alrighty. Yep. Also, we will probably be getting a guest soon. I'm going to try to get Doug Eddert on here. I think that'd be pretty cool. Just like I'm gonna probably text him probably next week. Just let him calm down a little bit from like this big run he went on, and just because he is my cousin, I would like to, talk to him. And by the way, I'm not lying. He is my cousin. Like I have picture proof of me playing wiffle ball in the backyard with him. So if you want me to show proof, let me know. Anyway, we're gonna try. If not, though, we'll have other guests. If you want to be a guest, let us know. If you have a question for the show, let us know. But besides that, I think that's all. So see you guys next time.